Welcome to another live stream watch-along reaction. Tonight we're reacting to Vancouver Whitecaps FC versus Toronto FC, MLS 2026 Match 2, Week 2. Here we go. Toronto versus Vancouver. Vancouver's been struggling for the first couple of weeks of the CONCACAF and MLS season. Toronto FC, their one game they played, they lost 3-2. We can score goals, it seems. We just cannot defend. And Cozy Thompson's playing center back again. Lord have mercy on my soul. With that being said, we are here. We are ready. We will begin. Vancouver, Toronto. How we doing, son? How we doing? And, well, we'll talk about that later. But we are here. We are ready. Oh, there we go. Okay, I was like, that was a little bit slow for Rumble. But either way, starting 11s are as follows. How we doing, HJU? With that being said, starting 11s are as follows. We got Yoi Takaoka, the back four, Matthias Laborda, Ralph Prizo, Tristan Blackman, Eddie Ocampo, Sebastian Berhalter, Andres Cubas, Aziel Jackson, Thomas Muller, Javon Bodwall, Brian White, Toronto FC, Luka Gavrin, the back four, Kobe Franklin, Walker Zimmerman, Cozy Thompson, Richie Larea, Alonzo Cuello, Jonathan Osorio. We got Daniel Shallowy, Jose Fuentes, Jordy Mihailovic, Derek Etienne Jr. Well, it might not be a war yet. I think they got what they wanted out of it. Now, I'm not saying I do not want it to be a full-on war in Iran, but I think they got what they wanted, killing the Ayatollah and toppling his regime. I think they got what they wanted. Now, if they still keep striking and all that after this, I'm pissed. To be clear, if you want my thoughts on the Iran thing. Let's not be political. Well, I don't know, it may be too far gone. Either way, Dobish is on fire. He's sharp. Oh, the Leafs are losing 5-2. Yay. 31-8. Outshot 31-8. All right. No, HJU's been here for years, so do with that what you will. But getting ready for this game to go through, and we'll get going. Rapids 2-0. Portland, Sealy assist. Yeah, Portland looked like garbage today. Chicago 3-0 full-time. Feel bad for Longstaff and Vera. I don't feel bad for Longstaff. Vera, I don't really care either. You know what's funny? Montreal gave up 2 goals to a team down a man. I'll laugh until we lose 5-0 to Vancouver because let me have my moment. Either way. Well, that makes sense. Either way. TFC have no audience with this crap Apple TV. You may be right. And I still watch these bastards. Ay, ay, ay. Call the Pirate. Let's see how fun this one's going to be. Like, either Vancouver still struggles and we lose 1-0, or we get our ass kicked. I unlikely see us drawing, let alone winning. Let's be real. It's still Vancouver. If we win, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Please prove me wrong. We got injuries and new signings. Hasn't played, so I'll let this one go today. Some people don't. I've talked to other Portland fans who are much more pissed than you. But I guess that's just the way things are. Some people will be really pissed. Some people let it go. And it's not like y'all have a voice that should be listened to completely. So, you want? I don't know. Either way. Like, either way. Scream into the void, but I should be listened to. AKA call the Pirate. Either way, waiting for this game to start. By 8:40, there'll be the kickoff. This time, well, not this time next week, but in about 2 hours. We got Formula One next week, and we will be live for the Australian Grand Prix at 10 p.m. next Saturday. Toronto plays on Sunday next week anyway. So, I mean, if you look at all that over there, I don't know if you can see, but the little F1 shrine there. Oh, and by the way, there's a very unbusy week next week. How we doing, Mile High? Yeah, we know the Rapids won. So, Monday, Tuesday are off. Of course, we're here Sunday for the St. Louis game. Monday, Tuesday off. But what I'm going to do, because the F1 season starts next week, and I will do the bulk of the Grand Prix of the season live and review them, or at least live. I will do a Formula One predictions video. I will predict the table for the World Drivers' Championship, and I guess maybe at the end say, here's what I think the Constructors' Championship will look like. Not that I'd make a second channel for it, but I think you'd be more likely to see me have an F1 channel, like on its own, than me do a news channel. Games about to get going. More likely, I'll just keep it on this channel, but you know. Vancouver wearing their blue for the game. They wore their Chinese New Year practice jerseys. How we doing, Winvo? How we doing? Toronto wearing white, Vancouver wearing blue. Kind of surprised, but either way, here we go. Damn. Shit. You must have like the flu or something. God. Starting 11 for Vancouver. Yohei Takaoka, Laborda, Prizo, Blackman, Ocampo, Kubas, Berhalter, Jackson, Muller, Bodwall, and up top, Brian White. Let's see if Vancouver keeps struggling here. Damn, man. I feel sorry for you, though. Oof. God, it's got to be the flu, because that happened to me when I had the flu. Not just, even the last time I had the flu. Starting 11, Luka Gavrin, Franklin, Zimmerman, Cozy Thompson, Richie Larea. I cannot believe Cozy Thompson started center back again. Jesus Christ. Coelho, Osorio, Daniel Shallowy, Mihailovic, Cifuentes, and up top, Derek Etienne Jr. I can't believe he's starting at striker either. Ate a cream cheese bagel yesterday morning. Felt like crap all yesterday. Today could be food poisoning too. You're probably right, but I hope you're wrong. Yeah. Sometimes it just doesn't go your way. But again, drink chamomile tea and take a probiotic. Aziel Jackson, the player watch for Vancouver, more header 90% of the time goes in. Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't go for you. That I wasn't told. I was watching F1 TV or F1 channel, so while I was talking about it, I just saw the score. I was not told that. So. I guess you can build your own narrative if you want. I'm worried about tomorrow. Orlando plays tomorrow? I know St. Louis plays tomorrow. That's the one we're doing. Let me check. Teams are walking out. Here we go. Fixtures. There we go. Tomorrow. Why wouldn't you just put it there? Yeah, they're playing Miami. No, yeah, you're cooked. Well, I would think so. It ain't going to be pretty, I don't think. We'll see. Maybe Miami are fraudulent, though. You know, CW has a live WWE NXT channel 24/7. I know there's one on YouTube for, like, WWE NXT archive. That's all CW has, is put WWE on for 24 hours, 24/7. How are we doing, Hans? Either it's a different thing, or I know the WWE archive is a 24/7 YouTube channel for NXT and other shows. No. If there is a draft, I'm dodging it. I won't say it now. I don't care. If this Iran thing turns into World War III, if there's a draft, I'm dodging it. I would rather be in jail than on the front lines. So maybe, who knows? Maybe my scoliosis will make me not get drafted. Noted. Sergeant doesn't even make the bench. Is that a sign Sergeant is injured? No, he just got there. No new wars. I agree, but either way. Hey, you know what? Maybe we were wrong. Live events from a year ago. They played over and over. Oh. I'll look into that. You can't be surprised. If you're surprised about the anti-war sentiment I have, you're not new here. Don't. Come on, you can't be surprised. I've always been anti-bullshit war. Always. And I've said that before. It's not like it hadn't been said, so. And this is a bullshit war. If it is a bullshit. If it becomes a bullshit war. My cope is they killed the Ayatollah. This won't become a war. That's my cope. That's my cope. They got what they wanted. They killed the Ayatollah. Iran does not have the regime anymore. It's a new regime. They got what they wanted. At least I would assume. But we'll let this game get going soon. You can't be shocked. 2-0 San Jose against Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta's screwed. I think there's going to be a good bit. Yeah, I know. We're probably going to lose 5-0. Probably. Michael Bradley won his first 2 games as Red Bulls coach. Well, good for him. Good for him. I still say call the Pirate. I have a feeling TFC wins 7 matches this year. We'll probably win less, to be honest. Well, damn it. Well, it's the same score bug, except they added a gradient to the colors. They put some gradient to the colors, but other than that, same one. So, slightly different, but the same at the same time. Win probability, 63.6. Like, the colors have gradients now. It's not just flat. Pretty much the same, though. Did you not watch Orlando last week? Here we go. Oh, God. Center ref is Bizakos. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Do you like the MLS Next score bug? How we doing, Daniel? Lucas Spalla, the VAR referee. I've been pissed off for months, man. You didn't watch Orlando last week? Duke was on at the same time. 2-1 Real Salt Lake versus Seattle Sounders. I think he's talking about politics. Dude, I've been pissed off for months. How many goals for Thomas Muller? 2. Here we go. Was able to come Thursday evening, had to prepare a sermon for Psalm 91. The ministers had a Bible study without a town. Well, okay, that's nice. Honestly, I can't hope it, but we'll see what happens. And we're off. Here we go. $20 seconds. Playing forward. Header. I think I started realizing, I think that was before the first strike. And then after the first strike, I'm like, yeah. No, I think after the first strike, I was like, yeah, they're probably going to hit again, but we'll see what happens. What can I say? Trump's a liar. What can I say? He's a liar. He lied about everything. He lied about everything. He sold everybody out. He sold everybody out for power. The people who voted for him and the people who didn't vote for him. He sold everybody out. But that was obvious freaking 10 months ago. That was obvious by last summer. So that's my statement. It was obvious when he was running his mouth about the 51st state. And it just got worse and worse and worse. have known those neocons in his first term made him look somewhat senile, or my bad, somewhat about it. Who would have known? Oh, Crew scored, 33rd minute. I don't know why they booed Danhausen, but it's also in Chamber. I didn't watch it because I couldn't watch it because this game was being played. Three minutes in. You think R-Truth and Danhausen would be a good tag team? Yeah, I think so. I think it would actually make sense. Oh, I don't like it. Like, those players need to break their fast. They were given time to break their fast, and this has been a thing where leagues have given players times to break their fast for the past couple of years when leagues have really recognized it, except France, but that's another story. They're drinking water and eating freaking power bars. You don't boo water breaks. Like, I've never seen, and it doesn't really happen in England, but I've never seen fans boo a water break when it's hot. So what's the difference here? I don't know. I had no idea Leeds was, either way, shallowy going forward. I feel like it's a little bit, it's dumb. It's sad, but it's dumb. You know? Like, those players are Muslim. They're Islamic. They observe Ramadan. They have to break their fast. What, you want a player to go down injured to do it? Like France? It is what it is. And it's not like they're eating big meals. They're eating power bars and drinking water. Like, you can wolf one of those down in 3 seconds when you're hungry. Shit. But you don't boo a water break. It makes no sense to me. It doesn't. Like, what, you want to play on an empty stomach for the whole game? Just because they don't subscribe to your religion or your beliefs? Yeah, go fuck yourself. That's about, as in the Leeds fans, go fuck yourself. It makes no sense to me. Let them do what they got to do. (1-1) for SKC. I don't disagree. I think that's a solid idea. I heard about Vince's speeding incident. Six minutes in. Nice. I agree. And if you look at it, if you actually studied Islam, they believe in God. God exists in Islamic texts, by the way. They have a respect towards God, the Christian God. To be clear, Chivas 0-2 Toluca. To be clear, if you wanted. So that's what makes even less sense. That's what makes even less sense. Because if you knew that Muslims respect God in their texts and the way they practice, and that God exists to them, and they don't slander him, why are we booing their religion? They believe in God. They believe in Jesus Christ. If you are a Christian / Catholic, they believe in what you believe and they respect in what you believe. And we're booing them? Okay. That makes no sense to me. If somebody respects what I believe and they see that as real, even if they see something else and worship something else, and by the way, Allah means God as well, either way, what's the problem? There are other religions who don't respect Jesus Christ, who don't see Jesus Christ as real. And we don't boo them? Okay. All right. Good job. I'm not saying you should, but if you're going to boo something that doesn't agree with you at all. You know? No, people should have their freedom of their own religion, but I'm just saying. If somebody agrees with you, but in a different way, that's on you. But not in a public place, but you know. I'm way more positive to people who understand and support what I believe, but they're still on their own side. So, either way. Either way. I agree. Up to religion, I don't have context. But either way, I think it's wrong with all around. It's wrong what those Leeds fans did to the players who were breaking their fast, or whoever was booing them, whether it's the opposite fans or the Leeds fans, whoever was in that stadium booing them, it was wrong. That's my point. Call the score. 5-0 Vancouver. I'm surprised we haven't been scored on yet. 0-0. I'm surprised we haven't been scored on yet. But either way, I don't have good feelings. Either way, we're losing. It's either 1-0 or 5-0. Choose which one you'd rather have. Choose which one you'd rather have. Choose which one you'd rather have. Me, I'm neutral, but I do like Jesus, love everybody philosophy, which fits my own vibes. But there's also other religions I like to look towards, but there's one that keeps throwing me off. I agree. I agree with you. Like, I am a Baptist. I am a Christian. But I do love to at least study everybody's philosophy. Exactly what you said. Exactly what you said. Playing Ford. Saved. Except I am more openly a Christian. But yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Vancouver gonna win? Oh, hey, welcome back. If that is Alex. Welcome back. Vancouver gonna win, you're right. But yeah, I'm the same way, Peter. I'm the same way. I'm glad somebody understands. 12 minutes in, 0-0. Habs are going to win, yeah, and the Leafs are losing, so. Playing forward is Vancouver. But let's focus back on the football. I said my piece about Iran and religion. And do with that what you will. Sabres are a wagon. We reclaim third. Well, good for the Habs. Let's focus on the football at this point now. Even though I want peace too, no divide. I agree. But I think, sadly enough, I think we're at the point where if you want peace, we might have to fight for peace. And nobody wants to do it. And I don't mean a bullshit war. I mean, it's up versus down. You know what I'm putting down? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? It's up versus down. You know the French Revolution? Yeah, that. Maybe a 2026 version of that. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. Yeah. Throw in. Header. When I mean fight, I mean a 2026 version of the French Revolution. That's what I mean. And do with that what you will. Do with that what you will. I ain't gonna start it, but Mueller, I can't believe, oh shit, goal! Or did that go behind it went behind the net. Okay, I was like, damn. It went behind the net, my bad. It went behind the net, my bad. I thought that went in. With Vancouver, you think it would, but it's still 0-0. It's still 0-0. I'm usually a pessimist when it comes to TFC. However, I like the new play style. It's a good start we'll only get with our reinforcements. Goal, Thomas Mueller. It wasn't a goal. Luckily, no. It went to the side netting. 15 minutes, 0-0, but they're going to score. Unless, no, they didn't score. Playing forward. $15 minutes in. Boom. Either way, 16th minute. 0-0 still. That was not a goal. Damn Google. Oh, they even thought it was a goal. Google sucks, man. Ay. Playing forward, blocked away. I knew Google fucks up the 11 sometimes, but the goals? That didn't go in? Is this Ted Lasso? Remember that episode where the penalty broke the net? I expect Toronto to lose, so I didn't bubble guts my pants. I expect Toronto to lose. It's just about how much. I don't see us winning or drawing this game. It just depends on how much. If we somehow get a 0-0 draw, I'm going to celebrate that like a win. They're knocking, though. It's only a matter of time. You're right. At least I'm not the only one. At least I'm not the only one playing forward. At least I'm not the only one. With that being said, Islanders play tomorrow. Okay, cool. Good for you. I watch St. Louis at 8:15 tomorrow, and while I'm eating lunch, I'll be watching the IndyCar Grand Prix. Not on camera, but just watching it. Let's hope Pato goes from P8 to the winner of the Grand Prix. Let's hope. Is the power going out in freaking Vancouver, or is my TV on the fritz? What's happening? TFC have a really good away turnout for this game. Bunch of supporters flew in for the 10 a.m. this morning, flying back to Toronto right after the game. Yeah, TFC on the road got that one going, eh? Hey, I respect it, though. I love it. I love it. You know, if it was me, if I had the money and the time and the empty schedule, if I was in Toronto, I'd take that, like, via rail Canadian train to Vancouver with, like, the sleeper cars and all that. Like, the upper class sleeper cars and all that. Trek Trendy did a video about that. Actually, let me link it, because it's a good video. I'd watch it after this is done, and then I'm putting up the review. It'll take about 30 minutes, so hold on. Let me find it. I'm actually going to link it. Yeah, sure. Playing forward. Or if this game gets out of hand, you know? Oh, no. Keep watching my stuff. Keep watching my stuff. But either way. Via rail. Via. Seth is back. Yeah, I need to shave mine. Randy Orton won the chamber. Oh, okay. So you know what I'm talking about. Okay. That's Apple. That Apple will show him, though. Yeah, you're probably right. LAFC 1-0 Houston. Well, good for them. Playing forward. Unless you want me to link it. Nil-nil, 20th minute. Free kick for Toronto. Yamal got a hat trick. Not surprised. Free kick for Jordy Mihailovic. Okay. But since Sam knew what I was talking about, header. And that's going to be a goal kick. I'm surprised we haven't been scored on yet. Randy won the chamber, so that means Drew versus Randy. Wait, Cody. Wait, that had Cody losing the chamber. There we go. Yes. Yes, thank you. Thank you. At least I'm not the only one who knows. There we go. There we go. I like that. There we go. Lol. Gaddafi was up the Raw, so Gaddafi was up the Raw, so Cody Rhodes losing. Good. I'm glad. The Canadian. Okay, so that's what we're. Okay. We all know what we're talking about here. Okay, good. 22 minutes. Robert Thomas gets traded by the deadline. Playing forward. Playing forward. Toronto, Osorio, cross, blocked away. Loses the ball. I'm surprised we're not playing our new forward, not the DP from Norwich, but the Colombian one we signed, Aristizabal. Yeah, because we'd rather play Derek Etienne Jr. at striker. What the? That's a penalty. Yep, penalty for Vancouver. Oziel Jackson taken down, and it's a penalty for Vancouver. Walker Zimmerman fouls, and it's obviously a penalty. Jesus Christ, man. That's how we screw up? Oh, yeah, though. I think, yeah, it's a pen. He did go down, but Zimmerman's pissing himself. Penalty for Vancouver. Let's see if they check it on VAR. But is it soft? Yeah. Thomas Muller to take the penalty and put Toronto down 1-0. Referee is going to not go to VAR. Or is Oso walking over to the ref? Thomas Muller has scored all 4 of his last penalties. Referee is going to... Brian White is behind, and here's the whistle. Thomas Muller to take the penalty. Toronto FC's first penalty against this year. Thomas Muller versus Gavrin. He's going to score. I mean, who are we kidding? Goal. 1-0 Vancouver. There it is. Thomas Muller scores. Sends Gavrin the wrong way. German discipline. Was it a soft penalty? Yes. 25th minute, but they scored. 1-0. Lord. Seth Rollins back. Okay, cool. And that's the game. Zimmerman washed. That was soft, though. That was more of a dive than a penalty, but there was still a touch. I'm surprised they didn't even look at that on VAR. I'm surprised. Seth Rollins is the masked man. Really? Really? Are you kidding me? Of course they did. Of course it was. Seth was the masked man. Of course he was. Well, there you go. Cody's the reason John Cena turned heel. Not exactly. Well, Cody said he didn't want to turn, but The Rock having a freaking axe to grind against Cody made Cena turn heel and ruined Cena's retirement tour. And let's be real, Cody Rhodes is a 2-bit fake John Cena with a horrible neck tattoo. He thinks he's John Cena. No. The thing about John is he is that good of a person. John is a saint. Cody is not. Cody's a freaking wolf in sheep's clothing. You can act all like you are the best guy in the world. You are a saint. You are a company man wearing the suits. Give it away. I know John Cena loves wearing suits, but not on WWE TV. John deep down is a guy who is down to earth and salt of the earth. Cody is a Nepo baby who never liked his gimmick, who, yeah, good for him. He chose to do his own thing. and got back to WWE and finished his story. Then he became unbearable, and then he ruined John Cena's retirement tour because Rock had a problem with him and an axe to grind because he ruined Rock's dream match. Or the fans did. So he blames Cody, wanted Cody to turn. He didn't turn because unlike John, he won't do everything they say. John will do anything they say, and he ruined everything. Him and The Rock. So I'm pissed at both, frankly. Just because you want to be a 2-bit John Cena. And I know, absolutely rich. I'm talking about gimmick infringement, but at least I know it's rich. I'm talking about gimmick infringement, but maybe there's a little bit of jealousy there. Either way, it's rich. I know. Nice. Why are we not playing Aristas a ball? You're probably right. Either way. Just Cody Rhodes to me is a absolute suit. He's an empty suit Manchurian candidate. You are no John Cena. You are not a superhero. He legitimately is Homelander. The dude is an egotistical fake. Whitecaps are winning, I know. Not when it happened, but looking back on it, yeah. I wanted Cody to finish his story. Then Rock ruined everything, and by extension, Cody ruined everything. And they made John have the worst heel turn of all time, even though he won the world championship. The reason it doesn't work is that's not John. Either you got to be a good actor, and let's be honest, John Cena is a good actor, but I don't think he's a good enough actor to play a heel. Even all of his movie roles are still face. So, do with that what you will. Without the thugonomics, which is not something you wanted to do, because, you get nothing, right? Either way, he would have still... TFC attack doesn't seem bad. You're right. Our attack ain't bad. Our defense is garbage. That's the problem. Unlike last year, it's the complete opposite. AKA, call the pirate. Call the pirate. That's all I'm going to say. I'll say it till I am blue in the face. Playing forward. Call the pirate. I will say it till I'm blue in the face. Forever and always. Call the pirate. Oh, Cruz Azul just beat Monterrey already. So I guess we know where the Champs Cup's going. Sargent may be good, but we still need a proven secondary striker. Sargent's going to be man-marked completely, and we'll get nothing out of him. Well, it's something called, hey, look, F1 add-on MLS. Lovely. When it's 2 Canadian teams. It's just the U.S. Oh, either way, we have Aristas a ball. We just need to play him. We also have Joel Anthony Vilsaint. We also have DeAndre Kerr. Why are we not playing any of them? Why are we playing Derek Etienne Jr.? It was fun for a week. Why we got to do it again? Blocked away. Honestly, I wouldn't mind that. I think John Cena... I could see John Cena running, and I think he'd be a good president. I think John would actually... Fraser is coolest. Yeah, I agree. What? Yeah. Why? What else would you think about the guy who was the second in command to a fucking fraud? What else do you think? What? You think the guy who was second in command to a fucking fraud during our best years, who was carried by Sebel Javinko, is actually a good manager? I know you love nostalgia, but ask Atlanta how that's running. What does that say? If the guy who was the main coach during that era was a fraud carried by his number 10, and you bring back the guy who was the second in command at the time, what does that say about the guy who was the second in command? And I like Jordy Mihailovic, but he ain't no Seba Javinko. He ain't no Alejandro Pozuelo. He ain't no Ricky Puig. He ain't no Victor Vasquez. What does that say? Like, because I would be mad personally if I was the assistant coach to a fraud who I knew I was better than. I'm not saying Fraser thought he was better than Vanny, but, you know, he took the job, right? 33rd minute. Also, Eustachio on LAFC. I'm happy for him. I wish he was in Toronto, but I think he wanted a short-term loan and then try to go somewhere else in Europe, and LAFC were going to benefit him there. Unlike Toronto. Toronto wanted him long-term. Now, if he doesn't get that European move, sadly enough, LAFC is in the pole position to keep him, but it is a loan move. So, who knows? Toronto can jump back in there and say, hey, we want him. And if he knows and realizes that it's a long-term thing, maybe Toronto gets him. LAFC is still in the pole position because they just had him for 6 months. But Porto didn't want him. He's doing well at LAFC so far. Not surprised at all. It's Steven Eustachio. I'm not surprised at all. 1-0, 34th minute. So I'm happy for him. Kerr is injured, to be fair. Okay, fair enough. But we still got Vilsan and Aristas of all, and they're not injured. So we could still play the other two strikers. Advantage played. We could still play the other two strikers. Cross in. Ozziel Jackson at the back post, but Richie Larea heads it out. So don't forget Malula. I mean, it sucks we loaned him out, but honestly, sucks, because he's probably better than Derek Etienne Jr. Corner. You know what sucks? I saw the Brier finals at the same time as Toronto-Cincinnati on the 8th of April. I was really kind of hoping I'd be able to do both. Because, like, just imagine. I mean, the curling in the Olympics did well, but, like, just imagine Jacobs versus Gushu, Brier final. Like, that would be such a good stream to do. Because, I mean, hey, the curling stream did awesome, you know? Cross in. Shot, blocked away. Out of boots for a corner. Out of boots for a corner. But, you know. How long we trade our 2026 Super Draft pick for later this year? TFC never keeps their picks. If we suck, I want us to bottom out so that doesn't happen. Because if we don't bottom out, we still have a chance to go to the playoffs. I'm sure we'll trade it for something. Some GAM, yeah? 36 minute. Probably by July, if we're not totally out of it by then. Probably. But corner. Can we just hurry up and sub on GAM already? Speed recovery for Javon Evans. VAR for a handball. Oh no, not again. Looks to me it is a corner. No handball. Looks to me it is a corner. No handball. Thank God. They're still going to score on the corner anyway. Would you be happy if Cody Rhodes turned? Yes, because I want him to be Homelander. I want him to turn heel and be Homelander because that's who he is. Shot, goal, what'd I say? Thomas Muller with a second goal, what'd I say? What'd I say? I said they'd score on the corner. I saw it coming. 2-0. Next week, Josh Sargent plays for TFC. He ain't fixing this shit. Thomas Muller with a second goal of the game at the back post. German discipline. I told you we'd get our shit rocked. They finally woke up, Vancouver did. Good for them. 37 minutes. from the back post. Thomas Muller's right there. And Derek Etienne, of course, he lost his man. 37th minute, Thomas Muller. 2-0. We are garbage. Luka Gavrin has, well, he was never going to save a penalty from Thomas Muller, and I blame Derek Etienne for that. I don't blame Gavrin for either, really, so far. Yes, against Dallas, yes, but I don't think he's as bad as he was last week. I think he got screwed there, and he was never saving a penalty. Then again, our goalies never save penalties, but it's Thomas Muller. So do with that what you will, frankly. I don't blame Gavrin for either. I blame Zimmerman for being an idiot, and I blame Derek Etienne Jr. for not being a center back and also losing his man and being a garbage player. Like, what's his minus? Like, I know this ain't hockey, but what's Derek Etienne Jr.'s minus at this point? Because I think he's had more problems leading to goals than scoring goals. Garbage. I don't blame Gavrin today yet. I don't. No, we play Cincy next? No. I mean, if we couldn't beat Dallas and Vancouver's beating the shit out of us, I don't think Cincy is as good as Vancouver, but they're not as bad as Dallas. No. And Red Bull's playing good football. I hate to admit it, but Michael Bradley has Red Bull playing good football. So, I don't think we're winning our home opener either. Call the Pirate. Call the Pirate. I'm tired of this bullshit. Call the Pirate. You want to win, or at least have a better chance of it, at least not accept losses like this team does, call the Pirate. I will say it till I'm blue in the face. Until somebody bites the bullet, call the Pirate. What, you want to keep losing and accept it? Yeah, if you lose, but you're not accepting losses, you're just bad, there's a difference. No, you're accepting this shit. No, you're accepting this shit. No, you're accepting this shit. There's a difference. You're accepting this shit. No, there's a difference. Accepting losses and losing, two different things. Two different things, all right? Losing when you don't accept it, it just happens because you're shit and you're not there yet, fine. Understandable. Sometimes it's not your day either. Accepting losses, just easily laying down, no. Fight till you're blue in the face and almost dead. At least. This is accepting a loss. Last week was accepting a loss. I can't stand for that. I can't stand for that. I can't stand for that. And to be fair, who knew? What was your reaction when Roman Reigns told Cody we're not teaming together anymore? Well, I mean, it was always going to be a one-time thing. Free kick for Vancouver. Let's see how much worse this gets. Oh, Ali Ahmed scored for Norwich today. Header, saved, and cleared. What are you doing? What the shit are you doing? And Gavrin's down holding his head. Oh, wow. We might just have to see Yarbrough. Lord have mercy. It couldn't get any worse, can it? It couldn't get worse, can it? Ay. Maybe we should have kept Sean Johnson. Damn it. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is just... I expected nothing, and I'm still sad. Sean Johnson didn't want to play for TFC. And then he signed for DC. It's the same fucking situation, if not worse. I'd agree. He might not have, but think about this. DC is a worse situation, if that's even possible. And he went there. He's doing the same shit he did the past 3 years. Goalkeeping for a shit team who can't win. How does that make any sense? At least if he went to LA, it'd be like, yeah, that's understandable. Even the Galaxy would be like, yeah, that's understandable. If he went to Orlando, that'd be a step up. If he went to Montreal, okay, no, that wouldn't be a step up, but no, they're just as bad. If he went to Chicago, that would have been a step up, and they need a goalie. And he played in Chicago before. If he went to Atlanta, they need somebody. Brad Guzan left. If he went to Atlanta, where he's from, by the way, that would have been understandable. They might have problems, but would have been better in freaking DC. Like, how can you say, oh, he didn't want to play for Toronto FC when he went to a shittier team where he's doing the same thing he did the past 3 years? How does that make any sense? Like what? And I'm sure they didn't pay him as much as Toronto was, or at least at the same level. So it's not like, unless we want to give him a pay cut, which then, okay, understandable. If we wanted to give him a pay cut and DC still gave him the same amount of money he was playing for Toronto, okay, understandable. But we don't know what Toronto's offer was. Would I have tried hard to keep him personally? Honestly, probably. Even before seeing how Gavrin's been doing. But Yarbrough is our backup instead? Like, Gavrin's a better backup than Yarbrough, but a better starter than Sean? Probably not. Yarbrough's garbage. And we have Yarbrough. Like, oh, we could have got Dane St. Clair. I would have had my problems with that, but at least he's good in MLS. Could have got Maxime Crepeau. Even though he lost last week, he still looks pretty good. We could have got Rocco Rios Novo. That would have been nice. Shit, I'd take the geriatric Oscar Ustadi over Gavrin at this point. Hell, what is Rodolfo Cota doing? Rodolfo Cota's backing up at America. You know what? Why not get him out of there? The guy who took a Champions Cup from us. Why not get Rodolfo Cota? That couldn't hurt. I don't know. If you're going, like, I know Gavrin is, I don't know. At least for a backup, per se. Or at least get somebody to be the backup who isn't William Yarbrough. Cota's happy being a backup. If Gavrin's shit, at least you have a good starter to replace him with. But no, you went William Yarbrough. And a decent D-Rose hurts. So right now, it doesn't matter. Oh, and look at what Forge did. They have a really good goalie who played in Ligue 1. 3 minutes of stoppage time. I don't know. Goal. 3-0 Vancouver. 3-0 Vancouver. Ralph Prizo, of course. Former Toronto player. No, it's just Brian White. My bad. It's Brian White. 3-0. 3-0, Brian White. I thought it was Prizo. Camera didn't get on Brian White. Hey, Vancouver, we know you've been struggling. Just take an ass kick for us. You know, kick our ass. You'll be back right on it. Good job. I know Cardenas. Dude, look at this, though. This just shows, it was RSL last week, right? RSL and Cardenas are better than us. That's what this shows, right? You're worse than Cardenas. They only allowed 2 goals from Vancouver over 2 games. You've already allowed 3. Vancouver's only scored 3 goals in 2 games. 3 games until tonight. They've doubled their goal total this season on your ass. In 1/2. You fucking kidding me? Game over, you're right. Call the pirate. You fucking kidding me? Brian White taps in a freaking yakety sax goal, which is exactly what he does. And that's 45 plus 2. Yeah, call the Pirate. Live rant. I would rather, you know what? I would rather this team have passion. Call the Pirate. Fight when they're losing. Call the Pirate. If they are going to lose, fight. Call the Pirate. And win. Call the Pirate. They don't have passion. They don't fight when they're losing. They just, like, I know Vancouver is better than us, but they were struggling. And it's halftime before this. And we just let them break out of their struggles very easily. We let them double their goal total in one half. 3-0. Get out. Gavin is trash. Belt ties. Robin Fraser out now. I agree. So glad we have Panamis. Oh, he'd be nice to have for Toronto as well. With that being said, the Messiah is coming. You mean the Pirate? I'm not the Pirate. I'm not Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins? I'm kidding. I mean, I guess, though. Wow. So bad, man. So bad. We let Vancouver score double their goal total in 45 minutes. What the hell? I didn't think it would be this bad. Okay, who am I kidding? I said 1-0 or 5-0. We're almost over 2 away from 5-0. Already cooked. Yep. Gavin trying to lose his spot. The team just gifted him. Yep. Kobe's directly responsible for 3 goals conceded in 2 games. Hopefully it doesn't get worse. It's going to get worse. Oh, it's going to get worse. Cozy Thompson and Kobe Franklin are going to play their way out of starting minutes by the home opener, though. Lord, more goals will come, I swear. Hey, Toronto might get 1, but Vancouver's going to get like 3. Man, this feels so just bad. Why did Toronto even get Zimmerman? He's so washed and shit. Because, hey, a big center back on the freaking free agent market, it's not like this is going to not work for the third time in a row. They've done this like 5 fucking times in a row, and it's never worked. The last time it worked was when Laurent Simon came in. And that was only for like 6 months, and then he turned to shit. Like, he was only good till COVID. He had a really good playoff run in 2019, but after that, he just fell off a cliff. Omar Gonzalez came from Atlas, so that doesn't count as a free agent. But he was good for half a season and then turned to shit. After that, they weren't even good for half a season, you know, like Carlos Salcedo. Yeah, well, that was a swap deal with Soteldo, but that was bad, and then he left after half a season. Matt Hedges, remember that one? Yeah. Yeah. It's like the 4th time we've done this shit, and it never works. I can't wait to see Zimmerman gone halfway through the season, and he goes back to, like, Dallas or some shit. I said Gomes and Monlouis would be a better center back pairing. I think I'm still right on that. I don't think we needed Zimmerman. And honestly, I don't think he should start. And frankly, once Gomes and Monlouis get back, I don't think he should start. Unless you want to let Gomes play on the outside and let Zimmerman play with Monlouis, and we'll see what happens there. But if he fucks up some more, you know, sit him on the bench. But it's not like it's the first time. With that being said, we'll take a short break in the half, talk about the stats, get this one going, sit tight, be back. 3-0. We're back. So we're going to have a worse scoreline than Montreal. Probably, but at least we didn't get sent off. Not that it matters. Hi, Jesus bleeding Christ. -4 goal differential at least. Let's see if we could be worse than Montreal's goal differential by the end of the match. We need 4 more against. And no goals for. Dear God. With that being said, this is a torture job. With that being said, 7 shots to 0, 3 shots on goal to 0, 68% possession, 32% possession, 145 accurate passes, 68, 87% pass accuracy to 84, 3 fouls to 7, 3 corners to 0, 7 shots to 0, 3 shots on goal to 0, 166 pass to 81. My God, that's horrible. 87% pass accuracy to 84. 3 throws to 2, 0 offside to 4, 1 tackle to 3. We have more offsides than shots. 1 tackle to 3, 0 interceptions to 4, 0 saves to 0, 0 yellows to 0, 0 red cards to 0. 3-0 at the half. This team is fucking garbage. It's that simple. Vancouver is waking up out of their slumber. They didn't knock them out of the Champs Cup and they still beat RSL, but they're waking up out of their slumber. Toronto is that prince's kiss that wakes the princess out of their slumber. And then they proceeded to get thrown around by an ogre. Because the princess was the wife of that ogre. Fucking hell. Either way, that's about all I can say. This is an ass kicking. This is just sad. Call the pirate. Until my face is blue. Until I can't breathe no more. Until my heart stops beating. I will say call the pirate. With that being said, 3-0, here we go, second half. More pain, more suffering, more torture. Yay. No, I won't make any I hope Vancouver gets bought by a Vegas ownership group and gets moved jokes. I'm not going to make any of those. They don't deserve that. We're just shit. Okay, my pessimism's back. I don't think it ever went away. And I don't blame you, honestly. Here we go, second half. Crazy how Colorado won before Toronto FC did. Well, to be fair, we did win on decision day last year. So we haven't. Here we go, second half. Raheem Edwards on for the second half for Cozy Thompson. Monlouis on for Franklin. Oh, so Monlouis can't play 90, but he can play 45? Are you fucking lying to me? He wasn't fit enough to start, but he can play 45. Oh, fucking okay. Okay. And Ocampo's injured. Can't believe Portland did that. Let them do that to them. Yeah, Portland was bad. I'm surprised. Either way, yeah, so I guess a guy who said he couldn't play 90 can play 45, though. The fuck? I like Monlouis, don't get me wrong, but hey, at least we're not trying to push somebody to get hurt. That's a freaking plus. Took 5 years for that to fucking happen. If not more. We still had a shitty physio team when we were good. So, yeah, no, it's taken more to push an injury. Hey, at least we finally didn't push somebody to play early off of an injury, I guess. Hopefully they don't get hurt in the second half of this game. That's a plus. It took 8 years to figure that shit out. Sure. Yeah, y'all played down to Colorado. Y'all pulled the Steelers. Y'all pulled the Steelers. You played down to inferior competition. We're just shit. There's a difference. Or at least this manager's shit doesn't know what the hell he has to do. Or this team doesn't have any passion. Which one is it? I guess it's all partially all of that. 3-0. Partially all of that. Toronto FC doesn't have a player under 23 on the field. Playing forward. This is a humiliation ritual. We were underwhelming today without key players and a new signing, maybe a new center mid. We're just a younger team that needs to learn. Hey, at least you are a younger team. We have no fucking excuse. I don't know if you just heard this or read it. There is no player under 23 on the pitch. We don't have a fucking excuse. Not to, be egotistical and center this back on my team, but we have no fucking excuse. None of these players are under 23. Let's see, how old is Raheem Edwards? 30. Monlouis is 22. Okay, so now we have an under 23 player on the pitch, Zane Monlouis. But other than that, 23s. Well, he is 23. 32. Oh, well, Cozy was 23, is 23. Kobe's under 22. Okay, so either way. He came off, though, for somebody who's 34. 30. Okay, Raheem's 30. He's younger than I thought. I love Raheem, but come on. Playing forward. Walker Zimmerman got forward. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Coelho, 26, because he went to college. 33 Osorio. Shallowy, 29. Cifuentes, 26. Jordy Mihailovic, 27. Oh, I'm only a year younger than Jordy Mihailovic. 29 Etienne. The fact that most of this team is my age or older is a thing. Okay, so we have one player that's under 23 on the pitch right now. How old's Govern again? 25. Okay, 25. He don't look it. He looks like he's 40. TFC fans love watching Montreal lose their rivals, but hopefully supporters have a real view of this squad. I love watching Montreal lose, but this team's garbage too. Is that what you want me to say? I'm just glad Montreal sucks too. If we can't be happy, you can't be happy. But the fact that I'm more worried about Montreal losing every week than Toronto winning every week says something. It says something. It says something. It does. It does. It does. I hope St. Louis does better tomorrow. We already touched on that. Pepito, we already touched on that. I don't know who's worse, honestly, between Toronto and Montreal. I don't know who's worse. I think a good manager could fix this with Toronto, which makes us better. A manager who actually knows what he's doing can fix this. I think that makes us a little bit better. The sad part is I don't think we have that bad. Honestly, I don't think we have that bad of a. If they played right, I don't think we have that bad of a foundation. That's the problem. Unlike Montreal, I think Montreal's just screwed. Will you be surprised if Sargent turns into another Insigne experiment? Goes down in the box and no penalty. Not that I even care. It's fine. No. The good news is we overpaid for his transfer fee, not his contract. So at least we could cut his contract or maybe get him a move if he ain't good enough, unlike Insigne. Also, he's younger, so good. But we did overpay on his transfer fee, which gives him a lot, makes people have to look at him with a harder lens. And I've never really been a fan of Josh Sargent anyway. We'll see where this goes. But now I just got to accept it. Either as a fan or called a pirate, I got to accept it. So maybe he's good in MLS. I mean, he was pretty good in the championship, so we'll see. You would think he'd be somewhat okay in a MLS. You think he'd be able to at least get 10, 15 goals a year in MLS / all comps and CONCACAF. You would think. But I don't know. We'll see. I could see it being a failure, but then again, that's just TFC for you. Blame Ford. How we doing, Risklander? Raheem's going backwards. Yeah, they're doing horribly, Risklander. They're getting dominated. Oh, and look at this. Open goal. And luckily they don't get fast through that. Badwall couldn't figure out how to play that ball. Thank God. That was pretty bad, Badwall. That was pretty bad. It's Toronto. The opposite. We're getting dismantled. The opposite. Vancouver's the best of the three, the only provincial club. I like to learn about the culture and history of the city's relationship with football. Yeah, because Toronto had like 5 clubs before TFC. And it's Mihailovic goal! Offside. Jordy Mihailovic is offside. I don't know about that. I feel like he just got screwed there. Let's see what they check. I don't think that was offside. I think he got screwed. Let's see. Oh, no. Well, defender touched it before he got to the ball, so Jordy Mihailovic, I think he's probably offside just barely. Unless the touch makes him onside, and he is offside. Well, Jordy Mihailovic, goal doesn't count. Good run, but does not count. Offside. Goal kick for Tristan Blackman. Not that it would have mattered, but did it help them come back? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do you think Al Ahly win the CAF Champions League? Yes. But I think they had their howler. So I think they'll get back to winning it. Yes. Tackle. Hey, Vancouver's being a little bit sloppy. Not that it matters. Did it help Toronto come back? Absolutely not. 56th minute. Jesus Lord. Playing forward. Mihailovic in through. Daniel Shallowy. Nobody's there. Al-Ali doesn't need to finish the story. They already have finished their story multiple times. Now, if there's a story that needs to be finished, well, if you want Toronto to finish their story, they got to call the Pirate. Wasn't? Oh, no. He was still in Anaheim the last time there was a World Baseball Classic. Okay. Man, that's crazy. Shohei dons a non-Dodgers jersey for the first time since joining the team, but he still did some pitching to prep for his full first two-way season in LA. I forgot the last time there was a World Baseball Classic, he was playing for Anaheim. I mean, it's not their fault he got hurt this second time. Should they have taken Davies off during that third place game so he wouldn't tear his ACL instead of just playing on it? Yeah. Do I think they should be that mad at Canada Soccer for it? No. No, I think no. Either way. But playing forward. Hey, SKC drew. Good for them. To the Crew at home. Jesus Lord. Playing forward. Vancouver. Gavrin, just go to the damn ball. What are we doing? Oh my God. They've lost their mind. Chipped over the top. Pretty much, yeah. Headed away, 59th minute. TFC, Lorea has the ball, goes wide to Prizo, running down the flank, and Prizo gets to the ball. Okay, we're fucking garbage. Should we have let go of Ralph Prizo? No. And we did for fucking Mark Anthony Kaye. By the way, where does he play now? Oh, good. I'm glad you asked. Sacramento. No joke. Look it up. Oh, by the way, wasn't Fraser still the manager of the Rapids when that deal was made? Oh, thank you for fucking us over and then taking the job. And Gavrin holding his foot. Oh, well, just thank you very much, you know. Did you think you were going to take the job for TFC one day, Robin? Is that why you gave us Mark Anthony Kaye and took Prizo? Is that why? Did you want to fuck us over too? Well, you're doing a good job of it. Well, if you wanted to fuck Toronto over, you're doing a good job of it. Look at what you're doing right now. Fraud. Call the Pirate. And Gavrin's down hurt. Yay, we might have to watch William Yarborough play football. Yay! Gagazzo! I get it. Both clubs love to bash each other. Montreal's been crap for almost 4 years, but they need Saputo to sell the club. They're going through the same cycle. Yeah, but if they sell the club, who knows if they'll still be in Montreal. And frankly, I know this is going to be shocking, but I don't want to lose my rival. If there is a billionaire in Montreal who wants to buy the Impact or CF Montreal and keep them in Montreal, I hope that's the case. But if there is nobody in Montreal who wants to keep the impact in Montreal, I do not want Saputo to sell because I do not want to lose my rival. We need Montreal. We may say go to hell Montreal and fuck the team out east, and they may call us clowns, but we really need each other. If we don't have Montreal and they don't have us, what is there? Nothing. You want to take away the best rivalry in North American football because it's a franchise system? Fuck that shit. Just like Vancouver, I don't want them to move either. I don't want the redheaded stepchildren to move out of Canada. Even though they're beating our ass right now and they're better than us, I don't want them to move. We need all three clubs that are in the MLS in Canada to stay. We need that. I don't want either of Montreal or Vancouver to move, and because they have owners that can sell and probably will sell up, we're worried about it. MLSE will never sell. This is a rounding error for them. Toronto, they will never leave MLS. They will be here till the sun burns out. Why? MLSE will never sell. This is a rounding error for them. If they're good, great. If they're shit, they don't care. Toronto will be here forever. But Montreal, they have a human as their owner instead of a conglomerate. Same with Vancouver, and they're already on the market. I don't want Vancouver to move. We still need the redheaded stepchildren of Canadian football to be in Canada for MLS, and we still need the scum to be in MLS. We don't want Montreal to move either. We need our true rivalry and then the yapping redheaded stepchild to play at least once a year. Home and away. And then, of course, in the Can-Champ, who for now somehow is better. With all this uncertainty, they're still better than us, which is just sad. Hell, Vancouver doesn't even have an owner and they're better than us. How does that make any sense? So, either way, no, I don't want. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. That is exactly what Keith Pelly would say. And you say call the pirate and you're going to call out Keith Pelly like that? Yeah. I don't give a fuck what he thinks. No, I have passion for this club. That's what I have passion for. I love this club. And you would make more money if they were good. Even, especially in a winter schedule, you would make more money if they were good. Mr. 5 pairs of glasses. This ain't the Leafs. The Leafs can be shit. You'll still make money hand over fist. I know. I'm a Leafs fan too. And you still have the suits filling out Scotiabank Arena. I mean, the Air Canada Center. You will make money hand over fist with the Leafs if they're shit. I remember when they were shit the last time before this year. Shot wide. TFC is different. The Raptors, I think there are people that support basketball no matter what. Now, me, do I watch basketball when the Raptors are shit? No, because I don't like basketball like that. It's a fucking horrible sport to watch, especially the NBA, especially when my favorite team is shit. If my team is good, I'll watch my team. Just like college basketball. I don't care right now. Mississippi State is ass, at least on the men's side. The women are really good, but the men suck. But either way. Canada national team is pretty good in basketball. I'll watch them play. Honestly, FIBA basketball is probably the best way to play it. But either way, I have my things. I wish basketball was like it was in the 2000s. Either way, there's enough people who are loyal to the Raptors that even if they're shit, they'll be fine. The Blue Jays are the Blue Jays. And Rogers loved the Blue Jays the most. So even if the Blue Jays take a hit, they'll still, even when they're shit, as long as the rebuild's quick, people will come back. Just look at what just happened. But TFC, Argos, if they're shit, you're going to make less money. You'll make more if they're good. Just saying. So if you care about money, you should want them to be good instead of just being a rounding error. No, I actually thought they were going to lose this game. I actually thought we were going to lose 1-0 or 5-0, one of the two. And we're losing 3-0. So, no, I didn't jinx them. I didn't even think they were going to win today. MLS Cup, easy. TFC MLS Cup, easy. So, do with that what you will. Like, the Leafs will be fine. As long as the Leafs exist, it doesn't matter if they're good or shit. The Leafs will make money hand over fist. The Leafs will make money hand over fist, no matter how bad they are. That ain't TFC. TFC will make more money if they're good. So if you love money, Keith, which I guess because the Leafs make all your money, oh, and you're so deluded about them, you think the Leafs can make a playoff run. By the way, what happened today, speaking of? Oh, yeah, we lost the Ottawa Senators 5-2. 4 goals in the second period. And you think the Leafs can make the playoffs over the bar? You think so? Okay, Keith. Sure. Okay, sure. Bullshit. They better be selling on Friday. So. Either way, I care about this team. I'll call out anything. I don't care. When it comes to love how TFC supporters act like they're one of the big three teams in the city online when the Argos fans know their team makes less money. Shout out to them. If Toronto, here's the thing about Toronto. TFC, when they were good, were one of the big three teams in the city because they were good. See, as I was saying, the Toronto Maple Leafs will always be number one, bad or good, for the city. And I love the Leafs. I mean, the Leafs are my 1A favorite team. I love hockey as much as I do football. It's hockey and football for me, and Formula One. But like of the ball sports, or the sports and not motorsports, it's football and hockey for me. Those are 1 and 2. As you look at the Olympics, what did I do during the Olympics? I mean, curling, but I did all the hockey, or most of it. Right? I love hockey. I know hockey. I'm a Leafs fan. The Leafs will always be number one in Toronto. No matter how fucking bad they are, they will always be number one. They could be good, and if they're good, they might be even more loved. If they're shit, well, there's people like me who will still watch. And people like Steve Dangle who will still watch, right? Cross in. Even if they say they're done with a season, they'll still watch, right? The Raptors, I think, are starting to be at the level of the Leafs where, yeah, they might be shit, but there's a basketball fandom in the city that is loyal and likes basketball and wants to see basketball do well. And the Raptors winning a championship, they're still on that high, even if they're rebuilding and they're starting to get back better. I think the Raptors are starting to be more untouchable. The Blue Jays, yeah, they're top 3 right now. And I still think the Blue Jays, JCN Gondo coming on for Vancouver. I still think the Blue Jays, if the Blue Jays are good, which I think they will be, they're up there, right? If TFC are good, if TFC are as good as they want to be or as they should be, if Toronto was fighting for CONCACAF trophies, we would be in the top 3. And if the Jays were good, I think we'd be tied with the Jays. It'd be 3A, 3B. Unless the Leafs were just bad and Toronto were, for a while, looked at as better than the Leafs, or with more love than the Leafs. But, to say, if TFC was a dominant team in MLS and CONCACAF, like they were back in the late 2010s, yes, it would be a top 3 team in the city, if not tied for 3rd. And the Blue Jays were sort of falling off at that point when the TFC hit their peak. And I think they were top 3 in the city at that time. Right now, no. But the Leafs will always be number 1. Good or bad, no matter what, the Leafs will always be number 1 in Toronto. They always will be. They always will be. It's that simple. We're just garbage. No, this game wasn't manipulated. They're just garbage. Hey, if they called a pirate, they put me in a dark room and say, hey, we're making Toronto lose for bets, then I'll tell you. But I don't know any about that right now, and I don't think that's the case. But if I find out that these games aren't being manipulated for bets and it's against Toronto and all that, okay, I'll tell you. But I need to find that out first. And I'll whistle blow it and then get shot in the back of the head. Which, that's not exactly how I would have expected being shot in the back of the head. But, you know, if it would have happened to me, I would have hoped it was running for a political office and actually doing good. But, you know, whatever. If I was going to get JFK'd, I wish it was because of, like, doing good in politics, not because of football. But, you know, whatever. But, you know, whatever. But, you know, whatever. You know. Either way. '74th minute. Unlike, well, I mean, that's pretty much, yeah, exactly, yes. That's exactly it. Thank you. That's exactly it. Yes. Yeah. But I'm not afraid to be the coach if it I'm not afraid to be the manager if I honestly want to be. Shot! Save by Takaoka. No, because we can't get relegated. Steve said he might coach the Oilers, but he'd never coach the Leafs. Oh, no, I remember. If you love your team that much, you would have the balls to do it, in my opinion. If you think you could do it for one, why don't you have the balls to do it for your team? Or want to be the coach for your team? Makes me wonder. You know? It's like, oh no, I'd coach the Oilers. Like, he said that before. Like, he said he'd coach the Oilers, but not the Leafs. I'm like, if you loved your team as much as you do, then you'd have the balls to do it, you know? If you think you know what you're doing. I think MLS is just, it is what it is. Like, I think MLS needs, weirdly enough, I think MLS needs more YouTubers and more bloggers and all of that. Because see what they did to Matt Doyle. See what MLS did to Matt Doyle. MLS is getting to a point where they don't control, which is funny, they don't control their own narrative. And for a league you think would want to control their own narrative, they're firing all their good writers. And all they have is a damn a pre-show TV crew. You would think they would keep guys like Doyle. You would think shot, saved by Gavrin, rebound, blocked, top of the box, shot, goal, 4-0, offside. You know, let him have it. I don't give a shit. Let him have it. So. Well, let him have it. Well, with that being said, 76th minute. Man, it's sad when a fan doesn't care anymore at this point. Because if they don't call the Pirate, we ain't going to be winning. There's only one man who can save this shit. And, well, do I even need to say the second part? Cross in. There's only one man who could save this shit. And I wish. Bite the fucking bullet. That's all I'm saying. Bite the fucking bullet. You didn't miss anything. Tacos sound good right now. I'll be eating bagel bites after the match, but tacos sound good right now. You go to a good restaurant for them? I'm actually interested. Did you go to a good restaurant for them? Like, where'd you go? 3-0. 3-0 Vancouver. Well, that's the big boys. That's the capitalist. Grow this league. Yeah. Well, it depends on what they do. If they call the Pirate, I think we'll see you back there pretty quickly. But if they keep Fraser or just get somebody else, yeah, I don't know when. And I don't blame you at all. I don't blame you at all. Hell, if you call the Pirate, you might be food stand, all Canadian MLS Cup. That's not happening. Score 3-0. You know, more loyalists. All the loyalists in the club when things change. Either as assistant coaches, scouts, secretaries. Is calling the Pirate basically going to be a coup if it happens? Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's going to be a coup. But come on. Even if the key is given, it's still going to be a coup. It's still going to be a coup, but it's for good. Then again, does every coup start for good? Yeah, then it turns. Either way. Make Toronto FC great again. Make Toronto FC great again. Playing forward. Save. It's at 80th minute. Or is it for a greater Toronto FC? Yeah, I know we got to change the slogan. No. Make blank great again doesn't work anymore. You're right. That's right. No, it doesn't work anymore. For a greater Toronto FC, that's better. Playing for, that's better. I like that better. That sounds better. Wonderful. For a greater Toronto FC. That sounds better to me. Yeah. That sounds better to me. 80th minute. Probably not. He already would have gotten sacked. If it's bad enough, they might second guess. Coup d'etat! Oh, Pulse can't make a save on a Boo Ali for a penalty. Okay, so maybe a good player should be able to be saved by a mid-MLS goalie. I don't know. During a penalty, I don't know. 81st minute. Where's Sargent? He's not even on the bench. He's probably still in Toronto, I would assume. I don't know if they put him in the press box here. I don't know. Oh, no. Press box. Press box is the next stop. Press box. Press box is the next stop. Press box. Send him to the press box. Is that Ryan in a suit? I've been. Yes, it is. Talk about Daniels. Yes, it is. Pull on the special emojis for members. Yes. Yeah, that's my membership tag. Or one of them. Yes. Do you like Fraser? No. No. Why is Drake not going to TFC games? Because he doesn't like football. Oh. Oh, I see. Oh. Football. Kendrick better than Drake, I agree. Malik Henry's on for the last, and Aristas and Ball's on for the last 8 minutes. Not that it matters. This game's over. This game is over. Why are we doing that? Solid player. I think he'll do good. TFC, what the heck? Which part? Which part? Playing forward. And free kick the other way. I mean, I guess not. I guess he's not. Because you would assume. Yes. Yes, it is a clone. Either way. Someone tariff this man. Yeah, I think Rory's the chief of the tariffs. Yeah, I think Rory's my chief of tariffs. Gavin has been abysmal. Yeah, okay, even if he hasn't, I don't think 2 of the goals were his fault. But 86th minute. There we go. That was okay. All right. Laraz coming on. Substitution. Berhalter off for Larraz. I hope there's no stoppage time. I hope there's no stoppage time. Marky Delgado. What? What did Marky do? What, did Marky score a goal? Header. Is LAFC even playing today? Did Marky score a goal? I know there's one other game today. Let's see. Full time. Oh, he did. And Steven Eustachio did. Oh. So he did score a goal. 2 red cards for Dynamo? Holy shit. How freaking, my God. Like, how bad do you have to be? Marky Delgado and Eustachio both scored goals for LAFC. That just feels like salt in the wound. That just feels like salt in the wound. Corner. Corner. Cross in. Cleared away. I don't know, man. Ain't that something? Bum 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 bum. 488th minute. Playing forward. I think everybody's had to go through that at once. I think everybody's had to go through that at least once, you know, in life. So it is what it is. Arista's a ball! Save by Takaoka! That was actually a good shot. Emilio Aristizabal takes the shot, lets it go, and sadly doesn't go in, but worth the shot. 88 to the 89th minute. Hopefully there's no stoppage time. Oof. Oof. Come on, you clowns. Score at least. They're not. That was their best chance. Hey, at least Aristizabal had a shot. Ay, ay, ay. Why? Football. This sport pains me. Sport pains me. Caulfield passed Guy Lafleur's record. Damn, he's been in Montreal that long? Or was it a single season record? 90th minute. Cleared away. Bah. 10 seconds for stoppage time. Please tell me there's no stoppage time. There's no reason. There's no reason. There's no reason. 90th minute and 5 minutes. 21 game scoring streak. Okay, 5 minutes of stoppage time. Why are we doing this? Why? Just no. Playing forward. Saved by Gavrin. 4.5 minutes to go. '91st minute. LA Galaxy leads 3-0 over Charlotte at halftime. Oh, they finally figured something out. The ref wants Vancouver to score 4. Well, hey, at least we didn't allow a goal in the second half. That's positive. How we doing, El Nini? How we doing? At least we didn't allow a goal in the second half. Ball crossed in, saved by Takaoka. Joe Klaus. I told you he was good. Playing forward. Playing forward. What the hell? Playing forward. Larea. Cross. Out of boots. With 3 minutes to go. Almost halfway through stoppage time. Do. Corner. Today's victory against Monterrey, we're the table super leader. And Cruz Azul's the super leader. Good. Damn, Toluca ain't there? That's weird. '93rd minute. 2 more minutes of stoppage time to go. 3-0. Still got the Galaxy jersey for Zlatan. I think a lot of people do. Question is can they wear them? Oh, the Stars are wearing their throwback jerseys tonight. Nice. Playing forward. Playing forward. Free kick. They wore those jerseys against Montreal in that Sunday game we played in Dallas. Oh, there you go. 1 minute to go. Sabali making his MLS debut. Looking forward to Champs Cup coverage. Well, you have to wait a week before we get back to it. Because there's no Champs Cup next week. But you will get an F1 prediction video. Playing forward Toronto. Can they get one back at the Def as a consolation? No, they will. Goal kick. No, they will not. 94-34. Final 10 seconds. Blow the whistle. Let's go ahead and blow the dang whistle. 95th minute. And the whistle is blown. It's full time. 3-0. We didn't allow a goal in the second half. So that's a positive. Vancouver wins. With that being said, if you like this stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Hit that hype button to get this into the algorithm. Send subscribe on live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share it with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you tomorrow. My Dynasty Stars for month ahead for March. And then the San Diego St. Louis game, live RSR. Of course, I'll have this game reviewed within the hour. And I will see you. Then I will see you tomorrow once that's up. So with that being said, Toronto, you're garbage. Call the Pirate, and we'll talk more about it. Man, this team pisses me off. With that being said, I'm Ron and I'm out. Peace. See ya.